Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to the second episode of our online lectures. I'm your instructor Nabil, and the topics for today are different vector quantities, and we will learn how to add two vectors, addition of vectors, and we will see the different methods used for the addition of vectors. So let's start. So students, here we can see the first example of a vector quantity is force. The symbol of force is F, and you can see we have an arrow on the symbol F. This shows that this force is a vector quantity. And let's take an example, a box on which there are three forces acting on this box. The first one is F1. We write this one in the subscript to differentiate between the different forces to give their names. F2 of 3 newtons, and this arrow shows the direction where it's going, and this is the third force, F3 of 4 newton. Now we can see there are different forces acting on the same box. So where will this box move, or will it move or not at all? So we will see how we add these vectors in the next sections, addition of vectors. Now let's take another example of a vector quantity. So students, here is another example of a vector quantity. You can see we have displacement, which is also a vector quantity. The symbol for displacement in some books it is represented by S, and in other books the symbol of displacement is D, but we have to use the symbol S for the displacement. And the example is, let's say a person starts from point A and displaces 30 meters to the point B, and from B it displaces in this direction and reaches the point C. The displacement is of 20 meters, and why it is a vector quantity? Because it has some certain direction. And from C it moves towards the point D. Again it moves 20 meters. So we can see that other than the force in displacement, we have to start the next vector from where the first vector ends. That's why we're discussing the different vector quantities. A force, in the case of force, we can apply force in different directions, and the starting point can be different. But for the displacement, we have to start the second vector from where the first vector ends. Okay, so displacement is also a vector quantity. Now we move on to the next topic for today. Okay students, so the next topic for today is addition of vectors. We have seen that we usually add two or more scalar quantities, like we add a time with some other time value, and we add some speed with some other speed value. The same way we have a case over here that we have to add these forces. We have three different forces, F1, F2 and F3, which are acting on a box like this. This is the F1 going in this direction, this is F2 over here, and this is F3 over here. So where will this box move? So in this case, first we have to add these vectors. So now we will look how to add vectors and what are the different cases of addition of vectors, and what will be the result of the addition of vectors. Okay students, so here we have a list of different cases of vector addition. The first one is to basically simplify the process of addition of vectors. We divide the addition into these three cases. The first case is when we are given the vectors which are parallel to each other. Okay, the first case is when the vectors are parallel. The second case, when the vectors are perpendicular, how we gonna add them. And the third one, when the vectors are in random directions. So this is the main method, and that is called head to tail method. Just keep in mind, when we add two or more vectors, the answer we get is also a vector. It means it also has some direction and magnitude as well. It can also be represented by an arrow, since it's a vector. So after the addition, the result we get is called a resultant vector. Okay. Okay students, so let's discuss the first case when the vectors are parallel. So we are given with three vectors, F1, F2 and F3. All these three are vectors of force. They're acting on a box like this, and we have to find the resultant. What will be the resultant force acting on this box? Where will this box move? The first one is 3 Newton going towards east, so we draw it over here. The second one is 4 Newton east, I drew it over here. You can draw this vector here as well. Okay, the direction should be the same, and the magnitude represented by the tail. This is the tail, this is the head. This is 3 Newton vector, that's why it's in short length. The tail is short, and this is of 4 Newton, so the tail is a bit longer than this one. And then the third vector F3 of 2 Newtons, which is going towards west direction, it means this direction, and I drew that vector over here. So the resultant vector after the addition of these three vectors will be, how we gonna add them? If the vectors are parallel, we just simply add or subtract them. Simple mathematically addition or subtraction when the vectors are parallel. Okay, so here we have the parallel vectors. All of you are well aware that what are parallel lines. So these are parallel lines representing different vectors. So the vectors in the same direction are added and in the opposite direction are subtracted. That's why we added F1 plus F2 and then we subtracted the third vector F3. So we write their values over here. F1 is 2 Newton, F2 is 3 Newton, both are in east, and F3 is 2 Newtons west. Now 2 plus 3 Newton will be 5 Newton, and after subtracting 5 minus 2 we will get the answer 3 Newton of this vector which is going towards east. So ultimately this box will be moving in the east direction with a force of 3 Newtons, because the resultant of all these three forces is 3 Newtons. We represent a resultant vector by this capital alphabet R with an arrowhead to show it's a vector quantity. Okay, so let's revise this point, that when we have parallel vectors we just simply add or subtract them by simple mathematical operation of addition, simple mathematical rules. And what we do when the vectors are in same direction, we add them, and the vector in the opposite direction will be subtracted. Okay, why we didn't start from this vector F3 minus F1 minus F2? Because we start with the big vector. Like these two vectors will have a bigger value than this one, so that's why we added these vectors and then subtracted this. Okay, clear everyone? So this is the first case of vector addition when the vectors are parallel. Okay students, so now moving on to the next technique or next case of the vector addition when the vectors are perpendicular. We all are very well aware what are the perpendicular lines. When the angle between the two lines is 90 degrees, then such the lines are perpendicular to each other. So here we can see that we are given with two vectors. The first one is F1 of 3 Newtons which is going in the east direction, and the second one is F2 of 4 Newton which is going towards the north direction. So I drew these vectors like this acting on a box. The first one is going in the east direction and the second one is going in the north direction like this. Okay, so for the solution, for finding the resultant, what we will do first, we will write these vectors like this perpendicular to each other. Okay, first we write down the first vector F1 like this, then we write the second vector, draw the second vector on the head of the first vector like this, going straight up. Now we can see both these vectors are perpendicular to each other. And what will be the result? What will be the resultant vector? It is over here. Okay, the resultant vector will start from the tail of the first vector from here, and it will end over here. Clear everyone? So we start the second vector from here, the resultant vector, the tail of the resultant vector start from here and it ends at the head of the second vector. like this. So we have a triangle over here. Now what will be the value of this r? We have a formula for that, but first you should be clear that we have to write these vectors like this, and we have to draw the resultant vector like this. Since resultant is also a vector, so we should know its magnitude, which is represented by this tail, and the direction as well. So what is the direction of this vector? We can find that direction by using this angle, by the protector and some formula as well. So now let's move to the formula by which we can find the value of this r. Okay students, so here we have the formula for finding this resultant vector. This is the resultant vector, and here we will find only its magnitude, not this direction. This is the direction. We can find this direction by using a d protector, and we have a formula as well, but right now we are only discussing the formula for the magnitude of resultant. This is the resultant vector. It has a magnitude and a direction, and for the magnitude, this is the formula. This resultant vector is equals to f1 square plus f2 square whole root. Okay, so what is the first vector? This is f1, or we sometimes call it fx, and this is fy, but here we name them f1 and f2. So we have to add these vectors like this. First we have to take their squares. Here is the solution given. For the magnitude of this vector r, we have taken the root of the first vector square, that is 3 square, plus the second vector square, that is 4 square. 3 square is 9 plus 16, and it will give 25, and after taking the square root of 25 we will have 5 newtons, the answer. We will only take the positive value because it's a quantity which we are taking as positive, and sometimes we have some quantities like length, time. We always take these quantities as positive. Okay, so right here we are discussing about the force. Force can be negative, it can be in the opposite direction, but here we are taking it as positive only. Okay, so this is the formula for finding the magnitude of resultant vector, not the direction, only magnitude. You will be given the question where you have to find the magnitude only. In such a case, when vectors are perpendicular, first we have to draw the vectors like this, and then we draw the resultant vector like this. So we have a triangle over here. Okay, and for finding the value of this vector, we use this formula. We derived this formula from Pythagoras theorem. If we apply Pythagoras theorem on this right angled triangle, we will have this formula. Clear everyone? Okay students, so here we have the third and the last case of addition of vectors. We are given random vectors f1 which is going in this direction, f2 of magnitude 2 newtons and going in this direction, f3 whose tail is 4 newton going in this direction. These are the random vectors. By head to tail rule we can add multiple vectors. Okay, so now we will look at the solution, how we gonna add these vectors over here. So students, here we will see how to apply the head to tail rule for the addition of these 3 vectors. We can have more than 3 vectors as well in such a question where the vectors are in random direction, neither they are in parallel direction or in perpendicular direction. Okay, so when we have the random direction of these vectors, so we use head to tail rule. And how we will add these vectors? First of all, let's take the first vector. Let's say I take this as the first vector and I draw it like this. The direction is same as given, and the magnitude, this tail is same, which represents the magnitude. Now what I will do, I will put this second vector's tail in the head of the first vector here, and I will draw the second vector like this in the same direction as given and with the same magnitude. This is of 2 newton. Okay, now the same way I will put the tail of the third vector on the head of the second vector over here. and I will draw the third vector like this in the given direction and with the same magnitude, which is represented by the tail. So this way we added these three vectors. The tail of the second vector is added to the head of the first vector. The same way the tail of the third vector is added to the head of the second vector. Now what will be the result of these three vectors? What will be the resultant? The resultant will also be a vector that starts from the tail of the first vector and ends at the head of the last vector here. Okay, and I will join like this. It may be a bit rough because I'm not using a protector. Okay, so this is the resultant vector. We can find its magnitude by using a scale. There's no formula for this, and we can find its direction from here, the angle. So this is the resultant, and this is the method which we call head to tail method for the addition of vectors. Clear everyone? We add these vectors by joining the tail of the next vector to the head of the first vector. That is why this is called head to tail rule. So I hope we are clear with this method as well, and with all the methods we discussed today. So this is the end for today's topic, and you will be given different questions regarding these addition methods in your assignment. If you have any problem, then we're gonna discuss later on. I hope the point is clear. Okay, till then, thank you.